They're home to the likes of African elephants, the critically endangered Javan rhino, and almost a third of the world's remaining tigers.
According to a report by the conservation charity WWF, poaching and illegal trading are threatening almost half of the planet's natural World Heritage sites. We're joined now by Chris G from the charity. Morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So just give us a sort of overview, really, because this sounds really alarming. These are protected sites, aren't they? And they're still being targeted, are they?
Absolutely, and good morning to you, and happy World Heritage Day. Today is World Heritage Day, one of the reasons we've launched the report today. So World Heritage Sites are some of the world's most precious places, and they've been given the highest status of protection. So again, it's very alarming to see that almost half of all natural World Heritage Sites are threatened by the illegal wildlife trade. And as you said, some of those most precious of species are there being under threat.
Does this mean then that those bodies, like CITES, which we've talked about a lot on this programme over the last few months and years, are they failing in their attempts to sort of not allow these sorts of things to happen?
So yeah, what we've identified is that the current setup is not working. So CITES and UNESCO really do need to get their act together and look at how they can improve the situation. So UNESCO are very focused on the sites, and CITES are very focused on the trade, and we need to join that up if we're going to have success in the future at tackling these. And it's not just the animals that matter, people's livelihoods rely on these sites. So 11 million people from around the world's livelihoods rely on the protection of these sites, whether through tourism or through fishing. So it's good for the wildlife if we get this sorted. It's also good for people.
Let's talk about the illegal trade, because they're in all sorts of different animals. And what is particularly vulnerable, and why is it that these animals are targeted for illegal trade?
So we see, for example, tigers. So about a third of the remaining tigers in the wild are in World Heritage Sites around the world. And they're targeted for the illegal wildlife trade for traditional medicines in Asia. But it's not just the tigers. We've also looked at here at trees as well that are endangered plants and trees that are affected by this illegal trade. And so tackling the illegal trade is good both for protecting these places, which should be the most protected places in the world, but clearly are not. But also it's the same criminal networks who are smuggling people and drugs who are involved in the wildlife trade.
And you've been to one of these, haven't you? You've been to Belize in Central America.
Yes.
What sort of things did you see there then?
So Belize is an absolutely amazing place to be. It's Belize Barrier Reef System is the second largest barrier reef in the world. It's home to some amazing species of fish, sharks, rays, and they are threatened in Belize. There are some main threats in Belize, so overfishing is one of the threats in Belize. And the government has started to take some action, but last year we had a situation where Belize was being threatened by oil exploration very near to the barrier reef. What we found was when we raised the alarm and people in Belize and around the world were aware of this issue, within 2 days of us taking this globally, the government of Belize decided to back away from oil exploration. So one of the main threats to the area, the most immediate threat, was removed. And I think people taking action, we have an action at wwf.org.uk/saveourheritage. People taking action is making a difference to these sites.
So it's important that people know what's going on and then become involved from your point of view. And also, what about sort of security as well? Because some of them, is it also about actually having the resources to put in security to stop this illegal poaching and trading?
Clearly resources are an issue, and governments, when they have World Heritage Sites, need to celebrate them. They're crucial to the economy of many of these places. So protecting them should be a top priority. We are seeing situations like in World Heritage Sites and beyond. I think it's over the last 10 years about 1,000 rangers have died protecting these sites. So real need to make sure that rangers are properly equipped to protect them, that fishing patrols are making sure illegal fishing isn't happening.
You mentioned the economy. Part of the problem surely is that this trade is worth what, sort of £15 billion a year. So that's one of the real issues. If you're going to tackle it, you have to tackle that side of it as well, don't you?
Absolutely, and so that's where here in the UK the government's hosting the Illegal Wildlife Trade Conference next year, and so we would say making this issue one of the top priorities at that conference would be a really important thing to do for protecting these amazing places and for the creatures that live there and for the people that rely on them.
Okay, thank you very much for your time here.
You're welcome. Very interesting. Thank you very much for coming in this morning. Good to talk to you.
It is 16 minutes past